Firstly, we'll take a roll call for the minutes, and if members could confirm they're present when I call their name. Councillor Alexander.
I'm here.
Councillor Flynn.
Councillor Flynn gives his apologies, and Bailey Roberts is on the call in his stead.
Okay. Councillor Hunter.
Hi, I'm here.
Thank you very much. Bailey Roberts.
Apologies, Billy. She has just left my office, so she is upstairs trying to join the call, so I'm sure she'll join us in just a moment.
Okay, thanks very much. Councillor Smith.
I'm here.
Thank you. Councillor Cruikshank.
I'm here.
Thank you very much. Councillor Malone.
I'm here.
Bailey Wright.
Present.
Thank you. Bailey McPherson.
Good morning, present.
Okay, thank you very much. That concludes the roll call at this moment in time. I believe that Kerry McKay has some words you'd wish to say before we start, convener.
So I can see that Councillor Rome is put his hand up because I don't think he called his name.
Yeah.
Stephen?
Hi, good morning. That was all. Yeah, just to mark that I was present as well. As is Councillor Hunter. I don't know if he was said as well.
Okay, thanks very much.
Hi, I'm here in Roger's absence. It's just the usual preliminary. Welcome to this meeting of the Recess Subcommittee, which is being held remotely in terms of Section 43 of the Local Governance in Scotland Act 2003. All members in attendance are able to fully participate in the meeting, which is being recorded. Should any member need to leave the meeting for any reason, can they please use the chat to advise of this? If a member loses their connection, they should make every effort to rejoin the meeting, but if this is not possible, the Committee Services Officer will note their absence for the remainder of the meeting. If you have to leave the meeting due to a declaration of interest, you must remain out of the meeting until invited back in. Would all members please mute their microphones when not speaking to avoid background noise and turn off any smart speakers. Please start the meeting with your camera on. Your face will appear on the screen when you are speaking. If your connection is poor, you may wish to turn off your camera and see if this improves matters. If this doesn't help, you may wish to quickly leave the meeting and rejoin. If you wish to raise a point of order, ask a question, speak on any item, or move a motion or amendment, please use the chat when the relevant item is called. The convener will then invite you to speak. Would members of the press and public please not post messages in the chat? Where items are for noting or where there's been no disagreement expressed, the convener will call for any member who has a contrary view to indicate this through the chat, otherwise the terms will be agreed. Please would members not use the chat for any other purposes, as those joining the meeting by telephone cannot see the chat and therefore will not be able to follow the debate. Although we are operating in a different way, this is still a formal meeting of the Council and the required standards of behaviour and discussion are the same as in a face-to-face meeting. Standing orders will apply to the proceedings and the terms of the Council's Code of Conduct will also apply in the normal way. Does any member have any queries regarding this procedure?
Thanks, Kenny. I see shaking heads, so thanks very much for that. Willie, as you can probably see, Bailey Roberts is in attendance now in my office, so you can confirm her as being here.
Okay, thanks very much, convener. And the roll call previously taken, it takes you on to item 1, which is declarations of interest. Since we're not any members made a declaration to the content of the agenda as it stands.
Any declarations?
Okay,
No.
and there being no declarations then takes you on to item 2, which is UK Shared Prosperity Fund and Multiply Fund proposed delivery approach, and you're asked to give the proposals.
Yeah, as members will see within the contents of the reports, this sets out the approach being taken in terms of the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, and I know that many of us have had questions and contributions to other conversations at a national level or through COSLA in terms of the operation of the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, what it means for us locally and how it will manifest itself in terms of the approach that's been taken. The report, I think, is fairly self-explanatory, so I will just open it up for any questions, comments at this stage. Now, I can't see the chat function, I'm afraid, so Willie, if you can advise me if there are any questions, that would be helpful.
In the absence of a response from Mr. Waddle, can I just say that I have indeed asked to come in on a question, so I'm the only person in the list at the moment, so I will just go ahead. Thank you. In relation to the recommendations at 2.1a and b, we note the requirement for the preparation of an investment plan and the delegation of authority to the Directors of Corporate Services and City Development in respect of that. My question's about levels of encumbrance in relation to staff's existing responsibilities. And I'm thinking perhaps, for example, the corporate external funding team. I would be grateful, I'm very conscious of there's a capacity issue in relation to the responsibilities that staff already have. And I think what I'm looking for is some detail as to specifically which teams will be required to pull together this investment plan, also submit it and ensure it is monitored in order that that can be reported back to committee over time. But also assurances that there is actually capacity. Staff are excellent, but they can't be doing 10 things at once. And what I would really like is assurance that there is actually capacity within the system to ensure that we are in a position to prepare an investment plan in good time.
Thanks for the question, Bill McPherson. I think it's a really good question. Capacity, as we know, is a consistent issue, I suppose, across council services at the moment. The challenges of recruitment, not least in our mindset. But I think given the priority that this is in terms of leveraging in that external resource, what it can be, then officers are very much focused on making sure that there is that capacity to take forward the investment plan. But if I can invite officers, perhaps from City Development in the first instance, to come in and contribute towards answering that question, please.
Thank you, Convener. Bill McPherson, the principal responsibility for developing the investment plan to date has been by the corporate external funding team, and it has been a significant challenge to pull together the information to do the stakeholder engagement necessary. But that capacity, I think, was created in order to respond to the external funding opportunities that are being experienced and are coming forward. In terms of the monitoring and future delivery of the investment plan, there are elements of what is proposed that will replace the existing European structural funds. So the teams that are currently delivering employability services using European Social Fund, through time that will transition to the Shared Prosperity Fund. In terms then of the administering of the Shared Prosperity Fund, there is provision within the funding for a 4% element of the total fund to be devoted to supporting that activity. And as noted in the report, there is a proposal that 2 additional members of staff are recruited with that responsibility so that the burden on existing staff is not too significant.
Okay, that's very helpful, and obviously I read that bit about the 4% in the report. The question, I suppose, is I'm very conscious that the corporate external funding team is a finite resource, and I suppose the reassurance all I'm seeking is that officers are confident that we can actually ensure that the investment plan is prepared for submission in good time, so that this funding is not in any way compromised.
I would just give that reassurance. We are on track to submit the funding, the investment plan, and we are geared up for the negotiation that will follow with UK government.
Okay, I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
Thanks very much. And I think it goes without saying that obviously this will be an item that comes back for keeping us abreast of how things have moved forward from the development of that plan to leveraging in that resource and deploying it in the city as well. So I'm sure we'll have further questions and contributions to make over the course of the coming months. I see no other notification of any questions. So on this item, can I take that as agreed, please? Thank you very much. Back to you, Willie.
Thanks very much, Convener. That takes you on to the confidential item, and the subcommittee may wish to agree to exclude the press and public from the meeting for the remainder to allow that item to be considered in private.
Thanks very much, Willie. So can we agree to deal with this. I have a number of, I suppose, contributions to make. I think other members may well have questions, so I think we'd want to discuss the item, but can we agree to ask members of the press and public to leave the meeting at this point? Okay, thank you very much. So, Willie, I'll wait for your confirmation just to advise that there are no members of the press or public on the call, and if any members can leave the call at this point so that we can consider the item, that would be greatly appreciated.